We often think of strength as the ability to stand alone, to never falter. The image of resilience, of handling everything without a crack in the armor, is celebrated. But today, I want to remind you of something powerful. Even the strongest women, yes, even those who seem unshakable, need care, love, kindness, and tenderness. Have you ever felt that being strong means you can't admit you're tired, overwhelmed, or in need of support? That showing any vulnerability somehow diminishes your strength? If you've ever felt this way, know this: you're not alone. Strength is a beautiful thing. It's the courage to face challenges, the determination to push forward, and the resilience to stand tall in the face of adversity. But strength doesn't mean shutting out the softness that makes us human. Strength doesn't mean carrying every burden alone. In this video, we're going to explore why needing support doesn't make you any less strong. We'll talk about how kindness, love, and tenderness are not just luxuries, but essentials for a happy, balanced life. Because strength and softness are not opposites, they are partners, working together to create a life that is not only strong, but also full, whole, and deeply human. Strength is often misunderstood. It is celebrated as independence, resilience, and the ability to carry every responsibility without hesitation. These qualities are undeniably admirable, but the way they are framed by society creates an unrealistic expectation, an unspoken rule that strength means never showing weakness, never asking for help, and never needing anyone. This expectation is quietly woven into the fabric of everyday life. Imagine a mother managing a household, her efforts rarely acknowledged unless she appears to handle everything effortlessly. She is expected to be the foundation, the nurturer, and the problem solver without ever showing fatigue or asking for support. Or think of the career woman working tirelessly to prove herself. She is celebrated for her success, but often faces a silent demand to do more, achieve more, and never let her guard down. In these scenarios, strength is misinterpreted as perfection, a constant drive to exceed expectations while showing no signs of struggle. When we hold women to this impossible standard, the weight of these expectations becomes suffocating. The pressure to always appear strong, capable, and in control leads to a subtle but deeply damaging mindset that vulnerability is a failure. The reality, however, is quite the opposite. The truth is, carrying the weight of everything alone does not make someone stronger. It isolates. It drains. It creates a cycle of burnout, where the very strength being praised becomes a source of loneliness and exhaustion. It whispers that showing any sign of struggle is weakness, even though admitting our limits is one of the bravest things we can do. This constant striving to meet an unrealistic ideal often creates a disconnect. On the surface, everything may seem perfect, but inside there is a quiet longing, a yearning to let down the walls, to feel understood, to receive the care and kindness that every human being deserves. The notion that strong women do not need support denies the simple truth of humanity. Strength is not about never falling. It is about knowing when to lean on others. It is about understanding that seeking help, allowing tenderness, and embracing love are not weaknesses. They are what make us whole. Imagine a world where strength is redefined, where the mother is celebrated not only for her resilience, but also for her ability to ask for help when she needs it, where the career woman is admired not for being invincible, but for balancing her ambition with the courage to admit when she's overwhelmed. Strength is not diminished by softness, it is amplified by it. Strength and tenderness are not at odds, they are complementary forces. When we embrace this truth, we can begin to release the heavy burden of perfection. We can see that strength is not in hiding our struggles, but in being open enough to share them. The strongest women are those who know how to balance their independence with the courage to let love in. They are proof that strength and vulnerability are two sides of the same beautiful coin. Let's celebrate that kind of strength. Let's celebrate what it truly means to be human. No matter how strong, capable, or resilient you are, there is one unshakable truth. You are human. And as humans, we are all bound by the same fundamental needs: love, connection, and care. These are not weaknesses. They are the roots that anchor us, the forces that nurture our growth and sustain us through life's challenges. Strength is often seen as an unyielding force, but true strength is not rigid. It is not about building walls so high that nothing can reach you, nor is it about bearing every burden alone. True strength lies in the ability to remain open, in embracing both the resilience to stand tall and the softness to let others in. Picture a mighty tree. It towers above, its branches reaching high into the sky. On the surface, it seems indestructible, but its true strength lies beneath, in the roots that connect it to the earth. And when the winds come, sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce, the tree bends and sways. It doesn't resist the wind. It moves with it. This flexibility, this willingness to yield, is what allows the tree to endure. You are like that tree. Your strength is in your ability to adapt, to bend without breaking, and to recognize when you need the grounding support of others. Without this balance, even the strongest among us can find themselves standing on shaky ground, feeling disconnected and overwhelmed. Softness, tenderness, and care are not threats to strength. They are its companions. Just as the tree relies on the soil to provide nutrients and the rain to quench its thirst, we rely on love and kindness to nourish our spirits. There is no shame in this. In fact, it is a reminder of what it means to be alive, to be human. Too often, the world tells us to hide our need for care, to pretend that we are untouchable. But denying this part of ourselves only creates isolation. Connection, real, meaningful connection, requires vulnerability. It means allowing others to see our humanity, to offer us kindness when we need it, and to remind us that we don't have to do everything on our own. Strength and softness are not opposites. They are two sides of the same coin. It takes courage to ask for help, to admit that you need a moment of tenderness, or to accept the love and care being offered to you. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a testament to your humanity. When we embrace this balance, we open ourselves to a fuller, richer life. A life where strength doesn't isolate us but connects us. A life where love and care are not luxuries but essential elements of who we are. So remember the tree. Stand tall, but let yourself bend when the winds of life grow strong. Let your roots sink deep into the connections that nourish you. And above all, know that your strength is not diminished by your need for tenderness. It is enhanced by it. That is the truth about being human. We live in a world that often equates vulnerability with weakness. To show emotion, to ask for help, or to admit that you need care can feel like exposing a crack in your armor. But in truth, vulnerability is not a weakness. It is a profound act of courage. To allow yourself to be seen, to let others care for you, or to acknowledge that you need tenderness is one of the bravest things you can do. Vulnerability requires strength, not because it's easy, but because it demands that you confront fear. The fear of judgment, rejection, or being misunderstood. Yet, when you embrace it, you unlock a power far greater than fear, the power to connect deeply with others and with yourself. Think of moments when vulnerability reveals strength. Imagine someone who is overwhelmed by the weight of their responsibilities, finally reaching out to a friend and saying, "I need help." That simple act of asking is not a sign of failure. It's a declaration of trust and self-awareness. It's a reminder that strength doesn't come from doing everything alone. It comes from knowing when to lean on others. Or consider someone who feels the pull of exhaustion, but has always pushed through without pause. Choosing to rest, to step back and replenish, takes courage. It requires acknowledging limits and valuing self-care, knowing that by honoring those needs, they'll return stronger and more focused. There's also strength in being honest about your emotions. Sharing how you feel, even when it's uncomfortable, invites others to understand you and respond with compassion. It's in these moments, when you allow yourself to be fully human, that you create connections that are real, supportive, and transformative. Vulnerability does more than reveal your inner courage. It strengthens your relationships. When you let someone see your softer side, you invite them into a deeper bond. People aren't drawn to perfection, they're drawn to authenticity. When you let go of the need to appear invincible, you make space for trust, understanding, and meaningful connection. But vulnerability isn't just about others. It's also about your relationship with yourself. When you give yourself permission to need rest, care, or kindness, you acknowledge your worth. You remind yourself that you are deserving of the same compassion you so freely give to others. Real strength isn't about how much you can endure without breaking. It's about knowing when to stop, to seek help, and to let love in. It's about recognizing that you are not diminished by your need for care, but enriched by it. So, dare to be vulnerable. Dare to ask for help, to rest when you need it, and to show your true self to the world. Each time you embrace vulnerability, you're choosing courage over fear, connection over isolation, and authenticity over perfection. And in that choice, you'll discover a strength more profound than any facade of invincibility could ever offer. Strength is not about standing alone. It's about recognizing when you need support and allowing it into your life. Embracing tenderness and care requires intentional steps, small shifts in how you view yourself and your needs. Let's explore how you can begin this journey toward a more balanced, supported life. The first step is to acknowledge your needs. Take a moment to be honest with yourself. What do you truly need right now? Perhaps it's rest after pushing too hard, a listening ear to share your thoughts, or a simple act of kindness to remind you that you're not alone. Acknowledging your needs is not a sign of weakness. It's an act of strength and self-awareness. When you accept what you need, you open the door to finding it. Next, focus on building a circle of support. Surround yourself with people who value and respect your strength, but also recognize your humanity. These are the people who will stand by you when life feels overwhelming, who will offer encouragement without judgment, and who will remind you that you don't have to do everything alone. A strong support system is not about dependency. It's about creating a foundation of trust and connection that uplifts and empowers you. One of the most courageous actions you can take is to practice asking for help. Start small. It could be something as simple as asking for advice, delegating a task, or sharing your feelings with someone you trust. Each time you allow someone to support you, you reinforce the idea that strength includes the ability to receive care. Asking for help is not a burden. It's an opportunity to deepen your relationships and build mutual understanding. Finally, remember to be gentle with yourself. Speak to yourself with the same kindness you would offer to someone you love. When you make a mistake or feel overwhelmed, remind yourself that it's okay to stumble. Treating yourself with tenderness is a powerful way to nurture your inner strength. By taking these steps, acknowledging your needs, building a circle of support, asking for help, and being gentle with yourself, you create a life where strength and softness coexist beautifully. You remind yourself and others that true resilience includes the courage to embrace care and tenderness. Strength isn't about doing it all alone. It's not measured by how much you can carry without faltering or how long you can endure without rest. True strength lies in knowing when to lean on others, when to pause and recharge, and when to open your heart to love and kindness. It's about balancing resilience with vulnerability and independence with connection. You are strong, capable, and extraordinary, but you are also human, And being human means it's okay, necessary even, to need care, love, and tenderness. These needs are not signs of weakness. They are reminders of your humanity. They are what ground you, nurture you, and allow you to grow. As you move forward, embrace the truth that strength and softness are not opposites, but partners. Let yourself be supported, let yourself rest, and let yourself be loved. Remember this: strength isn't in shutting others out, it's in letting them in. It's in choosing connection over isolation and authenticity over perfection. Together, we are stronger. Carry this with you as you face life's challenges. Stand tall, but know when to let the wind support you. You are enough, just as you are.